Good evening to everyone present here. Uh, I, Payal Mehelwal, I am currently working as an associate with Third Eye Techno Solutions. Today, I will be presenting a webinar on the topic of WhatsApp extraction and decryption using oxygen forensics detector. The agenda for the webinar is going to be that we are going to be introducing what basically WhatsApp application is. We are going to look at the forensic significance of WhatsApp. We are going to see the sources from where we can get the WhatsApp data. Also, we will see a bit of introduction to Oxygen Forensics Detective. And there are a few types of acquisitions that Oxygen Forensics Detective supports in terms of WhatsApp. So we'll be completing 5 types of extractions, acquisitions using Oxygen Forensic Detective. The webinar is going to be of 1 hour. So anyone who has any kind of queries, the chat box will be open, so you can drop down your queries along with your email IDs and phone numbers. We'll get back to you. Yeah, so we'll get back to you after the webinar. All your queries will be answered. So I think we can move ahead and we can start with the webinar. So what exactly is WhatsApp? WhatsApp was introduced as an alternative to text messages. It is a social media platform. It is a free-to-use tool, accessible to all. Anyone who's using a smartphone with an internet access can use WhatsApp. WhatsApp was primarily, it originated as a replacement. It originated as a replacement for our text messages, but nowadays it provides us a various other modes of communications, which can include text messages, our documents, our photos, locations, videos, calls. Calls can be our voice calls and video calls also. So that is WhatsApp. So now the first thing that comes to our mind is, why is WhatsApp so important to us forensically? More than 2 billion people in over 180 countries are currently using WhatsApp to keep in touch with their family, their friends, anytime and anywhere. So it is due to this that increasing dependency on WhatsApp has made it a very important source of evidence. Criminals are trying to hide their criminal activity. They are not using the mainstream calls or messaging application. Instead, they're trying to use WhatsApp or any other such social media platform to communicate so that they can hide their crime. It is one of the largest messaging applications which is being used around the world, and therefore it is one of the most important source of evidence. What are the supported sources from where we can get WhatsApp data? So we can get WhatsApp data from 3 sources. It can be either a mobile phone, either a cloud service, or our desktops, like our PCs. So in mobile phones, 2 major operating systems that we are currently using are Android and iOS. So we can extract WhatsApp data from both of them. In cloud services using Oxygen, we can extract WhatsApp data from iCloud services, Google Drive, and WhatsApp's own servers. And also from PCs, we can extract data. We can extract tokens, basically, and we can use these tokens to extract data later on. And the supported operating systems are Windows, we can use Mac, and we can use Linux. Okay. Now talking about WhatsApp backup encryption. What is WhatsApp backup encryption? We have a mobile phone. Supposing we have an Android mobile phone. So every night there's a time limit at which our phone performs an automatic backup of the WhatsApp. So the last backup of the last 7 days is stored locally on our device, and also along with that, one main backup file is also stored in the device only. But the backup which is being stored is encrypted. So the problem is that we have the encrypted backup, but we need to decrypt it to see the data which is being stored in the backup. If we have a rooted device, there's a location which is given on the screen. We have this folder where if we have root access to the device, we can go to this location and we can find the key and use it later on to decrypt the backup. In the backup, okay, this was a local backup which was encrypted. But now if we have to perform a backup on our own, so we can perform the backup on our Google Drive. Here we get an option. In Android, we get an option. We may or may not be able, like we may encrypt the data, or we can choose not to encrypt the data. If we choose to encrypt the data, we have two options. We can either set a password on it, or we can set up a 64-digit key on it. And one more thing to remember is that this password and the key which you will generate needs to be remembered by you only, because neither WhatsApp nor Google can have access to these keys, and they cannot provide you the keys later on if you forget it. So you might not be able to reset using WhatsApp or Google anytime. Media files in the backup are not encrypted. This is something that we see when we perform logical extractions. Because when we perform logical extractions, we are able to access the media files, which means that they are not encrypted. Now coming to Apple devices or iOS backup, which is there in the iCloud, which we perform iCloud backup. In iOS devices, one thing to keep in mind is our iOS devices do not store any kind of WhatsApp backup locally. So the only backup which is supported in iOS devices of WhatsApp is iCloud backup. If we can perform an iCloud backup, but the backup will be encrypted. The only thing is only thing is that the media files in the cloud, the backup, they are not going to be encrypted. Okay. Coming to the methods, as I already told you that we'll be seeing a few methods through which we can extract our WhatsApp data from our using our oxygen forensic detector. These are I have listed down the all the 6 methods that we can use. So the first method that we'll be going through will be extraction via an Android agent. Before moving to that, I just need to tell you that to perform any kind of extraction, the basic prerequisites that we require in an Android device is that we need to turn on the developer options. To do that, we have to go to the settings of our mobile phone. In that, we have to scroll to About Phone. We'll find the build number. On the build number, we'll have to click 7 times to become a developer. When you click on the build number 7 times, you will be a developer. Turning on these developer options will give you more access to the device so that you can perform extractions without any hindrance later on. So when you become a developer, these are the developer options that you need to keep in mind. You have to enable the USB debugging. You have to disable any verification of apps over USB, because later on we'll have to put some files into our mobile to extract the data. So which is why we'll have to disable this option there. We have to enable unknown sources. We have to enable stay awake if there's a pin set on the mobile or anything like that, if there's a password. So once we get through the password, we need to make the device stay awake so that we don't get the device locked again and again. Also, if in certain mobile phones, one more option is available, which is of enabling OEM unlocking. You just have to keep in mind that while enabling this option, you'll be if you're given a prompt that any of your data will be wiped, you don't have to enable it. But if no such prompt is there, you can enable this OEM unlocking as well. So these are the prerequisites that we need to do before we have to perform any kind of extraction in Android devices. Here also, I have listed down, I just attached a few screenshots of all the developer options we need to turn on. We have to turn on the USB debugging. We have to turn off the verifying apps over USB. Now, the first type of extraction that we'll be talking about. The first type of extraction is extracting WhatsApp data via an Android agent. So what happens is in Android agent extraction, we have 3 options. We can perform the extraction either via a USB, via a Wi-Fi connection, or via a manual Android agent. Manual Android agent will come into play when USB or Wi-Fi methods are not supported due to any kind of reasons. So One thing to keep in mind, all these types of extraction via USB, via Wi-Fi or Android, manual Android agent, basically the Android agent extraction method is a logical type of extraction, and you cannot expect that any kind of deleted data will be recovered from the WhatsApp. So we have to simply connect our mobile phone. I'll just show it to you. We just simply have to connect our mobile phone. We'll click on Oxygen Forensics device extractor. The device extractor wizard will open up. Here we can see two options. We can extract user data via USB, or we can extract user data via Wi-Fi. So here. Now, it is going to install the Android agent into my device automatically. It is going to run that Android agent and try to extract the data from here. Now it has detected the Android device which is connected to my system. It has installed the Android agent. Now what we have to do is we have to grant all the permissions which it is asking for to perform the extraction successfully. So we'll click on continue over here. And now one thing to be noted is that here we can perform selective analysis, but the only thing is that here only WhatsApp or WhatsApp business media files are supported. So we can only extract media files from WhatsApp and WhatsApp business. No chats or any such kind of files will be given to us. In manual Android agent, we have an extra third-party support. So we'll look into that later. Right now, if I'll just deselect all of these options and I'll select calls, SMS, and WhatsApp. So these are the files which are of main importance to us right now, keeping in mind the topic of the webinar. So I'll just click on OK, and I'll start extract. It will start extracting the user data, and what I'll be seeing on my screen is that, yeah, this is something that I'll be seeing on my screen. The SMSs, the calls, and WhatsApp media files are extracted from my device. It is trying to extract all these things. Right now, I'll just terminate this because I've already extracted the data and parsed it. Yeah. So I'll just click on that, and I'll just okay, just a second. Yeah, I'll just click on this option. I'll just click on terminate right now because I've already extracted this, and I will look at the past data later on. So this is when we are trying to extract data via USB. Now the second thing that the second method that we have to see is of extracting data via Wi-Fi. Here, what we have to do is since we cannot bring our mobile phone into network. Yeah, we cannot bring our mobile phone into network. So we'll provide a dummy network to our mobile phone. We'll just provide it with an address which will not be connected to the external network. And we can then perform the extraction using the Wi-Fi. I'll just show it to you in a minute. Yeah. We'll go on methods, we'll go on Android agent. Here we have already seen the how we have to extract data using USB. Now we'll see how we'll extract data using Wi-Fi. This screen will appear in our mobile phone. We'll have to install the Android agent. We have to download it from this link, and then after installing, we'll just run the Android agent. I'll show. Yeah, so this is what is appearing on my mobile phone currently once I install the Android agent and I run it. So now here we are given, in the end, we can see that we are given an option of extracting the data over Wi-Fi. So we just click on that option, extract data over Wi-Fi, and we are given an external device IP. This is the IP which we are going to enter here. So the IP which is given to me is 1.1. I'll try to connect. Here also it is trying to establish the connection. Once it establishes the connection with the Android agent, again we have to perform the same task. We have to select the data which is to be extracted. Right now we'll just select calls and WhatsApp media files. I'll show you the past data later on after I discuss all the three types of Android agent extractions. So it is trying to establish a connection. For this, one thing to keep in mind is that we have to keep both the devices on the same network. Right now, yeah. Since you're back now, right now, our agent was not able to establish the connection via Wi-Fi. I'll just connect it via another Wi-Fi, and then I'll show it to you. But the third thing that we're going to see is how we're going to extract the WhatsApp data using a manual Android agent. So for that, what needs to be done is we need to open the Oxygen device extractor. We'll open the device extractor. In that, we'll go to the option of methods. We'll go to Android agent method, and then there a hyperlink will be provided. I'll show it to you because this is a little blurred out. A hyperlink will be provided to us. When we click on the hyperlink, we'll be redirected to the location where we have the APK file. What needs to be done is we need to push this APK file into our device. So this can be done via an OTG or via an SD card. Right now, we are using an SD card. We have taken the SD card. We are going to copy the APK file into our SD card, and we are going to insert the SD card into our device. And after inserting that into our device, we are simply going to install our Android agent into the device. Once we have installed the Android agent, we can perform extraction. Like here we have our device now. We are simply pulling out we are inserting the memory card, the SD card, which has our Android agent. Now we'll move to the location of the SD card where we have kept the Android agent. We'll go there. Here we can see we have the App Forensics Android agent. We'll simply install this. Once we have installed this, we have to grant all the permissions to it. We'll allow all the types of permissions it is asking for. We'll allow all the types of permissions it is asking for. Now I'll just show it to you what kind of interface that we see on our device. Now on my device, what you can see is this is the Android agent. You will simply click on Android agent and you're provided with 4 options. So the extracting data over Wi-Fi is the option which we have already seen. Here we have an extra third-party application support. So we can use manual Android agent in conditions where we need to do that. Now we have option of extracting the data to internal or external storage. Since we have our Android agent in our SD card, what we'll do is we will extract the data into our SD card only so that we can bring back the SD card from the crime scene to our labs, and then we can perform the analysis part. So there are three options. We can extract to internal, external storage, or we can take screenshots, and we can also simultaneously record the screen. We can extract third-party applications data, or we can extract data over Wi-Fi. Right now, I'll just, once we'll click on extract to external or internal storage, we'll be given with this prompt. We'll have to provide an output folder, and we'll simply select the folder and we'll click on next. It will start taking the snapshots of the file system structure without, okay. It will start passing the data. Once it will show, once it has passed the data, it will show me all the categories from which I can pick the data and later on extract it. So it's just going to take a few minutes. In the meantime, if you have any queries up till now, you can drop them in the chat box. By the time this is loading, we'll just look into one more thing, which is important. So yeah. Why is manual Android agent method important for us? Because along with the WhatsApp media files, which we were getting in automatic agent, we are also getting this much extra information. We can get the account information, we can get contacts, we can get private and group chats along with the attachments, we can get calls. And if we have a WhatsApp business account, we can get the working hours from there and any kind of catalogs which were associated with that business account. Let's see if that has it is going to show us the exact same kind of options that we were seeing there in the automatic Android agent. We can extract calls, contacts, application data, WhatsApp business, media files only, media files information, and certain things like that. The extra thing which is of more importance to us right now is extracting third-party applications data. So when we move on to this option, what we have to do is we have to select a destination folder for extraction. We'll provide a folder for extraction, and then we'll turn on the accessibility settings. When we turn on the accessibility settings, we have to first go to the settings option, go to settings. Here we have given the accessibility for Android agent. We need to turn it on to provide complete access to the device. Once we have done that, we'll move back to our app and the accessibility setting options is selected. Now we'll click on continue. Now it is going to provide show me all the apps which are supported for extraction via manual Android agent. Here, the grayed out apps are the ones which are currently not running on this device. Here I have my WhatsApp, and when I click on WhatsApp, it is going to show me a prompt that I need to keep the device into airplane mode, and I need to keep the device connected to a charger while performing any kind of extraction, because it can cause any hindrance. Now, when I click on continue, it is going to say that it is going to start recording or casting with Android agent. So it is automatically going to start and recording with it. Now we have 5 more options over here. We can simply extract user info. When we click on that option, it will redirect me to my WhatsApp. It will go to the profile section. It will show me the profile picture, the about section, and our phone number. We can extract contacts, calls, chats, or we can choose to extract all data. When I choose to extract all data, here I can select how much data is required, how much data is of importance to me. For example, I can select if I want to extract all the recent chats, or I can scroll it if I need to extract the last 13 charts or last 50 charts. Similarly, I can set the level of the extraction which is required. I can extract all charts regardless of their last update. So I can select the last update date up to which I need the charts to be extracted. I can save the charts according to their size, and I can extract all calls, or I can extract the calls which are made in the last 20 days, 25 days. I can select according to what is required for me. And one thing which is to be noted here is that due to some restrictions, when we perform Android agent extraction, if we select that we need to extract chat messages along with the media files, only the last 10,000 messages are going to be extracted from WhatsApp. But in situations where we do not have to attach any kind of media files along with the chat files, we can simply extract 40,000 recent messages without any kind of attachments. And we'll simply click on start and it will start performing the extraction. So this was all about Android agent extraction. Okay, I need to repeat, there's a question here that I need to repeat the Wi-Fi method extraction. So I'll do that just in a minute. I'm simply connecting my mobile phone, the mobile device from which I need to extract the data, and I'm connecting it and my system to the same Wi-Fi. Okay. Once I have done that, we have seen how we are going to install the Android agent. We'll go to this method, extracting data over Wi-Fi. We'll go to our device extractor. This window is shown over here, and this is the IP which I need to input. It is again trying to establish a connection with the address. Yeah. So now it has established a connection over here with the next other Wi-Fi that I use. It has established the connection using the remote address that we have provided. And now we simply, similar to what we have done in USB method, we can simply select what kind of data we need to extract. These are the same options which are given to us. So we can select what we need to extract. I have already extracted some data. I'll just show it to you. And we can select and we can simply click on extract and it will start extracting the data. Here we can see on our screen, it has started extracting all the types of data because I have not deselected anything right now. I'll terminate it. So as I said, I'll just show what kind of data we get. So here are the 3 types of extractions that I talked about and the 3 types of data that I've passed. In USB, agent via USB, we can see that we have extracted the media files. And in Wi-Fi also, we see we have extracted the same number of media files over here. So these are the 3 types of methods and the amount of data that we have extracted. If I had performed the third-party application extraction, I would have shown that to you as well. We would have got more data in that situation. So moving to the next type of extraction that we can perform. Yeah. Now, as you were saying that WhatsApp performs local backup in our device at some point of time in the night. So that local backup is stored into our storage. It can be internal storage or external storage, whatever we have selected. In case the if we need any kind of information which was there existing on the mobile device after the backup, so we'll have to perform the extraction. We'll have to perform the backup on our own manually. So for doing that, what we need to do is we need to open the settings in our WhatsApp. We'll go to chats and we'll perform the backup. What will happen is this backup will be stored in the WhatsApp database files. And for this, the database files which are stored in the WhatsApp in our device, we do not need any kind of physical extraction to be performed for that. We can simply connect our device to our system and we can extract the database file via the MTB. I will just show it to you. First, I'll just add on one more thing, that if we have a rooted device, we can find an encryption key at this location. And since we, as I already told you, that the backup that we'll be getting will be encrypted, so this key will be helpful for us when we need to decrypt the data. So now, when I connect my mobile phone, this window will open up. I can simply go to that location where we have the database files. I'll go to Android, Media, com.whatsapp folder. Inside this, I have this databases folder. So when I open this databases folder, I have one master database folder, which is of importance to me. I'll simply copy this folder and keep it into my system so that I can later parse this and I can decrypt this. These are the 7 days of database. As I told you that the WhatsApp will keep last 7 days of databases with it. So these are the 7 database files, and this is the master file. So I've already kept this master file in this folder. And when we open Oxygen, we'll run our cloud extractor. We'll run our cloud extractor. Here is the cloud. Here we are given an option of decrypting the WhatsApp backup files. We'll click on this option. We'll specify the backup file. I told you that I've already kept the backup file in my system. So this is the folder where I've kept the file. I'll specify my file. I'll click on Next. Now there are 3 options, 3 kinds of authentication that we can do. If I have a newer version of WhatsApp, it is going to keep a db.crypt 15 kind of database with it. So in that case, I'm going to require a 64-digit. But this right now, what I'm using is, it is an older database file, so db.crypt 14. So for that, what I can use is I can either use a phone number, or if my device has supported extraction, and if I have extracted any kind of tokens from that, so I can use those tokens also to decrypt the WhatsApp backup. Right now, I'll just be providing my phone number. And I'll specify the output where I need to keep the sample. Okay, I'll keep the folder. I'll keep the decrypted file here only. And I'll simply click on decrypt backup. Now it is going to authenticate. So for this is because I have turned on the 2-factor authentication on my WhatsApp. So it is going to authenticate, and an SMS will be sent to me. I will authenticate the user via using the SMS, or I can choose to select it via phone call. Right now, I have already kept one decrypted file in my Oxygen. So this is the decrypted database of the same mobile phone. I performed the extraction earlier today. So here what we can see is the amount of data that we are getting from WhatsApp backup has increased a lot. Here what all we can get, these are the categories. We have got the backups, we have got contacts, we have got chats, chat information, all the kinds of chats. If I open a chat, supposing let's take this chat, and if I go to chat view, I can also view all the messages in the chat view. I have also extracted, these are all the chats that I've extracted from my WhatsApp. I have also extracted information about groups, all the groups on which the user was linked to, and all the calls that were made from my WhatsApp. So this is the amount of data that we can extract when we have the database file, and we can decrypt the database file. This is what I have shown. We have to specify the encrypted databases, we have to specify the location, and then we have 3 methods by which we can perform the decryption: using a phone number, using a cloud token which we have extracted, or using a 64-digit key which can be used for only 15 databases. Moving forward, let us talk about two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication comes into play when we have to extract data from cloud. Like as I said, that when we are creating a cloud backup on our Google Drive, we were given an option that we need to we can encrypt our data, or we can keep it as it is. So if we choose to encrypt our data, we can use a 64-digit key, or we can keep a PIN on that. So when two-factor authentication is enabled, what it tries to do is, since we are accessing the cloud services, so for the cloud services, we need to know the email ID, the credentials are needed for accessing the cloud services. I'll show it to you in a minute. If we have access to the credentials, we can access the cloud services, and we can extract data from there as well if any kind of backup was there on the cloud services, including iCloud backup, Google Drive backup, or WhatsApp's own backup. So yeah, this is the option that we'll be seeing on Cloud Extractor. When we open our Cloud Extractor, we have 3 options. We can, I will show it to you on my Cloud Extractor only. Yeah. So when I click on any new extraction and I perform a new and I go to WhatsApp, we are given with 4 options: WhatsApp Cloud, WhatsApp Google Backup, WhatsApp iCloud Backup, and WhatsApp QR. QR is something that we'll be looking in a while, but these are the 3 cloud services from where we can extract data. WhatsApp Cloud does not store the entire data, any kind of data which is in transit. For example, if I sent a message to a person and that person has its internet facility turned off, so any messages or any kind of attachments which is there in transit, it gets stored on the WhatsApp servers. It is stored there for 30 days, and after that it is deleted. So within 30 days, if we are able to extract that data, we will have access to it. Otherwise, the data will be lost. In WhatsApp Google Backup or iCloud Backup, if I select this, we'll have to add credentials. As I said, we need to have access to any kind of token which we have gained while performing an extraction of our device. We need to have access to that token, or we need to have access to the username or password so that we can extract data from WhatsApp Cloud. Same goes for iCloud services also. We need our iCloud backup account username and password. So when we have entered the username and password, we have to overcome the two-factor authentication. A prompt will be given to us when we enter our account password, or when we enter our credentials, we'll be given with a Google prompt or an iCloud prompt on our device, which in which we will get a backup code. We'll have to enter that backup code. Then if we have our 2-step verification enabled on our WhatsApp device, of which the backup is there on the drive, we need to overcome that also. So we require a PIN for that. And in the 3rd step, when we have to decrypt the data will be encrypted. So if we have chosen it to be encrypted, in iCloud services, it is going to be encrypted automatically. But in Google Drive, if we have chosen it to be encrypted, it is going to be encrypted, and we have to decrypt it. For decryption also, we'll again be prompted that we will have to verify the user using an SMS or a phone call. Once we have decrypted it, we have access to it. One thing to note over here is that if our device supports physical extraction and we have performed any physical extraction of our Android device using Oxygen and acquired the token out of it, the cloud backup that we'll be getting will be automatically decrypted. So the backup that we'll be getting will not be encrypted. So it is a plus point for us if we have a device which supports physical extraction and we can extract any kind of token from that, which can be validated and has not expired. Talking about WhatsApp Cloud, as I already said, for WhatsApp Cloud, we can extract any kind of data which is in transit, any kind of messages or attachments which are stored there on the servers of WhatsApp. In this extraction, no deleted data can be recovered, and WhatsApp servers will store the data for 30 days from inactivity, from the last activity. Like it will store the data which is in transit for 30 days. After that, the data will be removed from the servers and you cannot extract the data. And the user account will be deleted. It will be removed from all of the groups and we'll not be able to extract any data after 120 days of inactivity. Now, this next method that we'll be talking about, I'll explain it to you first via my. So we have the fourth option on cloud services where we have WhatsApp QR multi-device. When we click on this option, we will be prompted with a QR code. And as we already know how we have to scan a QR using our WhatsApp, we'll open our WhatsApp app, we'll go and we'll scan the QR which will be given to us from here. This is the QR which will be given to us. I'll take my device, I'll just scan it. I'll take my device and I'll just scan it. Okay, once I have scanned the device, my device will be logged out from, my WhatsApp account will be logged on from the device, logged out from the device which it was registered with earlier, and it will be open with me over here in the cloud service. One thing to keep in mind is that for this kind of extraction, we need to bring our mobile phone into network. So we cannot bypass that. We'll have to provide internet connectivity to our mobile phones, and then only we can scan the QR code. It is authenticating my device using the QR code. Once it has validated, it is going to show me a window of the categories of the data, categories from which I can extract the data. The contacts and messages are by default, they are selected. Except for that, we can choose to select user profile pictures, images, videos, any kind of voice records, audio files, or any other files which are sent over WhatsApp. Also, we can put a filter over here. We can put a date range from which for which we need the extraction to happen. This method, okay. Now, WhatsApp Web. What is WhatsApp Web and what is eScout? Option provides us with a facility from where we can extract data from WhatsApp if we have our WhatsApp logged in into our system. For example, if I have my system and I have logged in my WhatsApp into this using the WhatsApp app or into WhatsApp Web also, and it has not been logged out. If I perform keyscout extraction, I will extract the tokens from here. I can use these tokens later on to extract the data. How? I'll just show it to you. Yeah. So we'll just go to the keyscout module. We'll click on that. We'll specify from where we need to extract the tokens. We'll choose the OS and we'll select the profile from where, how we have to extract. Once it has started extraction, we'll specify an output folder where all the tokens, where the extraction will be saved, the keyscout extraction will be saved. We can save this. And we can parse this extraction into our device and we can see the tokens. I'll just show. For example, let us take, okay. Let us take this example. If I have this parse data and have I have these accounts and passwords for which I have extracted tokens. So from here, what I can choose is I can extract the data directly with the cloud extractor. I can use these tokens directly, and it will link the tokens to cloud extractor. It will try to validate these tokens. If they are validated, we'll get access to the data. Or I can choose to save accounts data. If I choose to save accounts data, these tokens will be saved as an .ocpk file on my system. So this is the OCPK file which we can later which we can give to our cloud extractor later on, and we can validate the tokens and we can perform the extraction. This is the OCPK file which will be saved. And I have an OCPK file which I can give right now. So Windows extraction. I'll just see where I've kept the OCPK file and then I'll show it to you once. Okay. So I'll go to my cloud extractor. I'm going to import credentials. It is going to automatically pick up the OCPK files. I'll just redirect it to the location where the OCPK files are kept. Examples. This is the OCPK file. I'll give it the OCPK file. It has picked up on its own the owner name, the owner email ID, the phone number. I have to provide if any kind of information, extra information I have to provide, I can give it that, and I'll simply click on next. So these are all the tokens which were saved inside this OCPK file. There are tokens of Facebook, Instagram, Dropbox, GeoCloud, TikTok, Uber, all these tokens. But right now I am concerned with WhatsApp only. So I'll just deselect all these services. In Apple, once I open the drop down, since we can see it was an Apple device, the iPhone 7. So I'll simply select the WhatsApp iCloud backup and I'll click on next. Again, click on next. Now, this is the access token for WhatsApp, which was available to me right at that point. But since this extraction is quite old, the token has expired and it cannot be validated. But this is how the entire procedure is done. If the token is validated, you will have access to the data and you can extract the data from WhatsApp using the WhatsApp iCloud backup token. If it had been an Android device and any kind of Google Drive backup has been performed and we got access to the token of that, we could have passed the access token of Google and we would have got access to the Google Drive backup. Now giving an overview of the Oxygen device extractor. We were performing the Android agent extraction using the device extractor. Along with that, our device extractor gives us a support of performing full file system extraction and physical extraction. It basically depends on our mobile phones, what kind of mobile phones we have. Does it support any full file system extraction, physical extraction, or simply logical extraction? In logical extraction from WhatsApp, we are only going to get encrypted databases and some media files. So that is the only amount of data that we are getting in logical extraction. When we perform full file system extraction, along with the databases and media files, we'll get account information, we'll get contacts, we'll get calls, chats, media files. Chats will include all the group chats and private chats also. In physical extraction, along with all the data that we get in full file system extraction, we are also additionally going to get any kind of deleted data from WhatsApp. So I'll show the 3 types of extractions here. I have passed data of that. This is the logical backup that I've performed. In WhatsApp, I can only see the images, the media files that we get, and also the this is the media files that we get, and also encrypted databases. That is the only thing that we're going to get when we perform logical extraction. In full file system extraction, Android full file system, we have the just WhatsApp business was active in this account. So we have accounts information, we have contacts information, we have chats. Chats can be private and group chats as well, as I specified. We have the images, the audio files, any kind of logs, calls. All these records will be given to us, but we are not going to get any kind of deleted data. The deleted data will be depicted in some other way. I'll show that. Any kind of deleted data is not given to us over in full file system extraction. So now when we go to physical image, if we have performed any physical extraction, if our mobile device has a support of physical extraction and we'll perform that, we'll go to the physical image of the mobile. And here, as you can see, WhatsApp business did not actually have any kind of deleted data, so there's nothing from that. But in the other app, Viber, we had some messages which we deleted after using Viber. So the red digits will indicate how many artifacts it has recovered which were deleted. So in physical extraction, we are also getting any kind of deleted data which was there in the app. And this is the past extraction, any WhatsApp extraction, although I've shown it to you in Oxygen only, but these are all the categories which will be available to us when we perform WhatsApp extraction: the account information, contacts information, chats information, calls, our media files, audio files, any kind of documents that we have shared. We can view the chats in the chat view. We can see the contacts, the contact cards, along with their email IDs and associated phone numbers. We can get access to that, and any kinds of files which were shared on WhatsApp. So that was it from my part for the webinar. Any kind of questions are welcome.